In this video, I'm going to be talking about the ICF competencies. Hi, it's Ruth Kudzi, founder of Optimus Coach Academy and Ruth Kudzi Coaching Limited. I am passionate about helping people live the lives they want to live on their terms through supporting people to train and develop as coaches and supporting people in my coaching business to build and grow their businesses. So let's just get it out there. The ICF means the International Coaching Federation. And as an ICF Master Coach, these competencies are really important in how I work with clients, but also in how we design our training within the Optimus Coach Academy, specifically our Professional Coach Diploma and Continuing Coach Education courses. So what are the competencies? Well, the competencies were designed really to be best practice so that you can look at what the ingredients are to be a great coach. And they were redone in 2019-2020, and I think they're at the core of great coaching. I remember my mentor coach saying to me, if you look at the ICF competencies, and if you look at ICF competency strong coaching, you know that coaching is going to be of a really high standard. What that doesn't mean is that other coaching isn't of a high standard, but this is kind of the gold standard and gold mark that you know that if somebody is able to meet these competencies, they're going to be a good coach. And of course, you can add other things in as well. So where do you start? Well, the first thing, and I think one of the most important things as a coach, is ethics. Ethics govern how we work. And working to an ethical code of practice means that we are putting our customers' interests at the forefront. I always think that ethics is such a hard thing sometimes to quantify, but actually when you know that there's a code and there's things in that code of ethics like saying if you're an affiliate or a partner with somebody else, what you need to do when you're closing a coaching relationship, how to ask for help. And it really helps you think, okay, am I making sure that I'm doing this with every client? Am I really sticking to this? And I say to everybody, go back to that code of ethics, revisit it every month, every 3 months when you're more experienced. And if you have any dilemmas, have a look there first. And then of course, I'd say this, go to coaching supervision, but have a look first in that code of ethics because it is very, very comprehensive. So first of all, ethics, which includes stuff about confidentiality. We know this is about putting our customers at the heart and making sure that our clients feel safe and secure. Then we're talking about coaching mindset. You as a coach, it's so important for our clients that we work on ourselves as coaches. So that's about looking at the support that we have around us. That might be having therapy, it might be having supervision, but it's also about doing those things that help build our capacity so we can be present. We know that when we're stressed and our cortisol levels are heightened, it impacts our executive function, which means our decision making, our problem solving, our memory. So actually as coaches, if we are actively doing things that reduce our levels of stress, activate our vagus nerve, help us become more calm, actually release GABA and maybe a bit of dopamine as well, that supports us in supporting our clients. So it is about doing those things for our minds and our bodies that make us feel good. And that is part of the ICF competencies. And I love that it is. It was a recent addition, but it makes such a difference. And it's also about, being aware of, within that, when sometimes you are not the right coach for somebody, or when you need to get that extra support. So those two are ones that you don't often see explicitly in a coaching session, but you can often see if they're not there, if that makes sense. And then it's about contracting and really supporting clients with that focus of their session. Because actually, we have to contract formally and informally with our clients, but also coaching is non-directional. So making sure when you are maintaining agreements, that those agreements are agreements that are set by your client, but also that you have the legalities behind them. So establishing and maintaining agreements is the third competency. Supporting your clients with the legalities, but also every session, what's the focus? What do they want to be different? And what's that going to look like? And then partnering with them to work towards that future state. And then we have coaching presence. And for me, this is the heart of coaching. Coaching presence brings everything else. Because when we are completely present with someone, that's when we can listen at a deeper level. That's when we can have trust and safety. So being present means that you don't have distractions. And those distractions might be physical distractions. We know that we live in a world where we have multiple devices. So switching off any distractions. But also it may be distractions from your mind, which is why that coaching mindset is so important. You know, when you are able to be fully present with somebody, you are listening to them. You're not listening to, your version of what is going on or your experience of what they're going through. So presence, being with someone, the ICF say dancing in the moment with your client. So you can really help them to get clarity on what's going on. And you can be mirroring what's going on for them. Because we know that through coaching and talking, we get clarity. But often as a client, it's about the coach skillfully working alongside you to unravel all of those threads and things that are going on in your mind to actually start to identify, this is what's important, this isn't. This is the thing that's holding me back. This is all fluff. Coaching presence, as I said, leads into trust and safety. Our clients are not going to be honest and truthful with us if we do not have that there. If they do not know that the space is going to be confidential, if they fear that what they say is going to be shared, it's going to be really difficult to establish trust and safety. And if people don't feel safe, or psychologically safe, or physically safe, then they're going to likely be in a threat response. And that again raises your cortisol levels, which again impacts your executive function. So it's not a great place for a client to be. Trust and safety, that relationship. And that again is supported by contracting, by your client knowing that you're adhering to a code of ethics, by you being a professional, showing up when you say that you're going to, having sessions that last the length that you've said. Doing the things that you say that you're going to do, demonstrate that you are providing a safe psychological space. And one of the people that works with me, our course director, Julia, says it's always about when you're a coach, making sure that you are showing up for every single client as your most important client. Because that's what they pay you for. That's what they deserve. And that comes under trust and safety and coaching presence. And those two competencies build on the next one. Active listening. We hear and we see online, don't we? And I'm very honest that we have had a 10 great questions for coaches lead magnet, which actually says what I'm going to say now. Yes, there can be great coaching questions, but the best questions are based on active listening. You can't ask brilliant questions without actually listening. And when we're saying listening, it's not just the words, it's the tonality, it's the tempo, it's the pauses, it's the energy shifts, it's the tapping into our intuition for our clients when we feel there's something more. It's about hearing that repetition of language. Try. Okay, what's going on there? Active listening is about listening to the whole person. And it's also about listening for congruence. If someone says, I'm really excited. Okay, let's explore that. Let's unpick that, because I'm really excited. You don't sound excited. So what's going on there? And there's lots of nuances here. If you're really listening, you can start to pick up on those clues. And remember that your client is likely not to even know that some of this stuff is going on. Active listening then leads into evoking awareness. The best questions, are based on what the person has told you or not told you. So evoking awareness is helping our clients see what maybe they haven't seen before. Coaching needs to be embedded. It's great to have a brilliant session, but it's what you do outside the session. Because coaching builds on, well, it recreates and rewires your neural pathways. So you change the way that you think, be, and act. So you need to then look at the final competency, which wraps it all up, facilitates client growth. What happens after a session and in between sessions is where the magic happens. So as a coach, you're supporting your client to reflect on their learning, reflect on what they're going to do differently as a result, and come up with some kind of action. Now, when I say a kind of action, I think people always expect they're going to get like a shopping list of things they're going to do from coaching, but it might be to reflect, it might be to think, it might be to pause, it might be to be different, or it might be to do something differently. But that part is key. It brings everything together. It helps the client reflect on their progress, and it helps them to decide what's next and how they're going to embed that coaching. So when you have a session that incorporates all of those competencies, you know that you've put the client at the heart and you know that they're going to have a great experience. If you want to find out more about how we teach our ICF accredited programs and what we do at Optimus Coach Academy, click here. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd like you to like and subscribe. And remember to keep abreast of all of our new videos. Just ring that bell and you'll be notified when any new ones come out. And we'd love to hear feedback from you. So if you'd like to post beneath your biggest takeaway, and equally anything that you'd like to hear me talk about, we're always open to feedback.